OctaviusReviews.com presents The Psychology of Fear in Procedurally Generated Dark Fantasy Underground Environments. Read by Primus. The flame flickers, casting long, nervous shadows across cold stone. You take a step forward, turn a corner, and stop. The passage you walked through 5 minutes ago is gone. In its place stands a blank wall of damp, ancient granite. This is the psychological reality of the procedural dark fantasy labyrinth. In traditional game design, you operate on a comforting curve of mastery. You map the terrain, memorize the sightlines, and transform your initial vulnerability into tactical control. Safe zones exist because geometry stays put. You can retreat, breathe, and plan your next move. Algorithmic dungeons systematically strip away that sanctuary. In these subterranean spaces, darkness is not merely the absence of light. Modern rendering models calculate pitch darkness as an explicit, suffocating weight pressing against the edges of your fragile, perishable illumination. You walk inside a tiny circle of vision while the void closes in behind you. Sensory perception becomes brutally asymmetrical. You rely on a sputtering torch, while whatever waits in the deep operates with native precision. Then comes the absolute death of muscle memory. When you backtrack to a cleared corridor, only to find an impossible dead end, your internal map shatters. Your mind loses spatial certainty. Deprived of the ability to memorize a route, you cannot run your way out. You are locked in a continuous state of hypervigilance, forced to evaluate every single intersection as an entirely novel, high-risk encounter. The architecture itself actively disorients you. Misaligned elevations, shifting room dimensions, and irregular cave structures strip away cardinal reference points. The maze rejects human logic, forcing your brain into a constant, fruitless search for a familiar landmark. Dynamic audio compounds this isolation. Stone scrapes against stone in the distance. Timber fractures somewhere above you. Phantom footsteps echo just beyond the edge of your sight. Then, suddenly, total silence. The engine drops the ambient hum, leaving an acoustic void that makes the next sudden noise hit with terrifying weight. You no longer play as the hero conquering a dungeon. You are the prey, trapped inside a living structure that rewrites itself the moment you turn your back. That concludes The Psychology of Fear in Procedurally Generated Dark Fantasy. If it isn't too much bother, please like and subscribe to the channel. We need the attention, and it keeps us motivated. For the full article plus breakdown and the bibliography, The Psychology of Fear in Procedurally Generated Dark Fantasy Underground Environments, please visit OctaviusReviews.com. Thanks for listening.